Oops, I forgot to start recording it. So some settings are going back and forth as we see what's going to happen with the resolution of the stolen penguin. And I want to know too what's going to happen with this. So either party can pick up from here. The sun can set. As far as you know, no one's seen you, Norallie. Anything? You were waiting for You're waiting for people to leave the. As it's getting darker again, because this isn't like a restaurant or entertainment block. These are more high-end shops that are open during the day, closed at night, because it's really it's luxury shopping for people in the afternoons or whatnot. So yeah,
the sun will go down. I'm waiting for it to be dark as possible. I was waiting for like no one.
Sure. Oh, in fact, let's do this. Roll a d6. Oh my! All right, Norallie. So as you're waiting, a fierce summer storm begins rolling in, and we're talking like thunder and lightning. So this is absolutely driving people off of the streets as you get a very severe weather. The wind is kicking up, is just whipping things around. Torrential rain starts to come down, although that's not necessarily a bad thing for you. Yep, you got Storm Guide.
I am safe on this roof.
If any of you don't know, because Norallie is a storm sorcerer, although for reasons there is still a wild magic potential, she can use an action to cause the rain to stop falling in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on her. And she continues it as a bonus action. If it's windy, you can use a bonus action each round to choose the direction. So I guess it's either rain or wind, but given the two, you probably don't want to get wet. Oh no, you end it as a bonus action. Never mind.
Yeah, I ended it as one.
So yeah, you can start. You can start and guide wind. All right. So yeah, a fierce summer storm is kicking up as the night overtakes the city. What are you doing then, given the circumstances?
The wind. I want to go like directly away from the window that I'm trying to get into. That way it discourages people from being right there.
Ah, okay, sure.
And once the street is clear, I do want to attempt to use thaumaturgy on the window to see if it's locked.
Hey, stop it. Ma'am. Thank you. All right. Using my chair. Hey. There's a scratching post. All right, so I'm sorry, using thaumaturgy to do what to the window?
If it's unlocked, it'll fly open.
No. This is a big. It's just like a big glass panel. It's not a.
Okay, so it's not an open window. Okay. No. Never mind then.
All right.
Then when no one is around, I'm gonna do what I set out to do. I'm gonna aim for like the shelf that the penguin was on.
Okay.
And throw it through the window.
Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to reach it because that's something that valuable isn't going to be kept right by the window. Yeah. But you can toss it in. Just go for as far in as you can throw it. Are you just using your own natural muscle, or do you have a spell that you want to use to? I don't know if you have catapult or something that you can just send that rocket through the window.
No. Natural strength.
Okay. Roll Roll in athletics. However, this isn't just like a single pane window. I mean, we don't have like advanced bulletproof glass or anything along those lines, but I'm going to ask you to roll in athletics, and you have to get above a 10 to even break the window.
I can roll. Let's see. No more plus ones?
You do not have any more plus ones.
Okay.
Break does 10 or 10. All right. So, with all of your might, you hurl the penguin at the window, and it just manages to break a hole through, and it's like 2 feet inside the window.
Okay. So how far away from it is the shop yet?
Probably like 25 feet away.
Could I send Yori in, and you speak with animals to tell him to put it by the shelf?
I don't know if he could lift that, because it's made of precious metals and gems. I don't know what the carrying capacity of Yori would be.
I don't mind if he pushes it. Let me see. Flying.
Pushing could be an option.
Strength is 4. He is tiny.
So he might be able to, over time, push against the penguin to get it back to the bottom of the shelving where it was. But he's not going to just be able to pick it up and take it in.
How much time would it take?
5 feet. 5-10 minutes, maybe. Just kind of nudging at it, putting all his snaky weight against it.
How many spells do I have left? I could just summon an animal inside. Maybe.
I will say, by the way, speaking of animals, there is the owl alarm is going off.
Guess I got the first place. I'm gonna conjure a bunch of rats into the store to move the figure, and then I'm gonna cast mending to fix the window.
Okay, you're conjuring a swarm of rats?
Yep.
Alrighty. You're gonna like Ratatouille this thing in. Alright, I get it. I have the mental imagery loaded up and ready to go. Okay, so yeah, give me just a moment here.
So how loud is this alarm against the storm?
Well, as you rolled the worst possible weather, given the blowing wind and the rain and everything, it's probably about equal, if maybe the storm even eking out the owl, volume wise.
Works for me.
Roll an Arcana though, as I'm looking at something here.
20.
Spells like this don't just provide, some sort of a jingle or a auditory or even a light. Spells like this can also alert people through something like a message or a sending. So there's someone probably knows that the window has been broken as part of the effect of this thing going off. Mending. Mending can work a little bit with the pieces of glass you have, but it's not for this to actually, unless you have the glass shards, you can fix a little bit of it.
I can have some of the rats bring up the rest of the shards.
All right, we're talking that you're gonna have to be spending a lot of time outside this window though. So your rats can bring it out, but remember it's a minute per cast, and you can fix like a single break, like a big a big shard of glass. You can mend in for a minute.
How big was the break?
Oh, if the owl, or not the owl, the owl's the thing that's hooting and hollering right now. If the jewel encrusted penguin's like this, so I'd probably say it's about.
Was it that big?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I was thinking it was small. Yeah. I was thinking it was like this big. I was thinking it was pocket size.
But it's I don't know, it's probably like a foot in diameter, and then you got all the like little cracks that are coming off of it.
Not to mention that glass like spider web cracks.
Yeah.
You break one point of it, especially if it's not shatterproof. You break one point of it, the whole thing's coming down.
The spell. I'm gonna say the spell says it can repair damage no longer than a foot. So I would assume that it could repair damage up to a foot at a time.
It can, but you need the things to actually put back together, because you're not creating new glass. You're just taking the broken glass and you're almost literally hand waving it into the rest of the glass. Like the cracks, you could seal up like probably almost all the cracks in the first minute, and then you just be left with a hole. But then you need the puzzle pieces to fit in the hole. So like it talks about the broken key. You need both halves of the broken key. It can't fabricate the missing end of the key. Or the cloak that has a tear in it, you can mend it back together so it's seamless. If like cloth was torn out of it, it might look a little weird, but you were just able to, to get the ends of the cloth together. So the rats can bring out shards of glass, and it may not be able to be 100% put back in a short amount of time, but you can fix the cracks, probably almost all the cracks on your first casting, because the glass is already there. Both halves of the glass are already touching. You're just magically filling in the contact between the cracks. So there'd be a hole in the window. It'd be like a jagged hole, and there'd be glass inside. But they can bring out little chunks of it. But you could, you could put up the big pieces that fell in, or you would, you would just need a lot of time in order with all the small pieces to kind of hold it up and then mend it in.
Alright, I'll spend the time needed. The rats are there for an hour anyways.
Alright. So you are, the rats are going to start moving and nudging the piece over. It'll take a little bit of time, but probably unlike your snake, they can sort of find a way to get it up onto the shelf if you want them to do that instead of just leaving it on the floor.
I want it under the shelf to look like it had fallen, and he didn't find it.
There's not an underneath area that could happen, but it could look like it fell off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just I want it in a place where it looks like he overlooked it.
Okay. So the rats begin that while you're trying to mend out the, while you're trying to mend the cracks. And so it'll take them, what I said for the snake solo, it would have been about, I said 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll say for the swarm of rats working together, we'll just put that at the minimum of 5. So you're getting 5 mendings off. So in the first couple, you can seal up the, you can seal up all the cracks, leaving just the hole in the window. And then you need to wait for the rats to come back to start bringing. Well, let's see. So they'd have to get pieces of glass up the window, which they could do. They could stack up and everything. All right. Then. Just do it this way. Okay. So you have the, you are starting to put the first big piece of glass back in place, and the rats are trying to get up some others. And this is after the statue had been pushed to the shelves that you're commanding the rats to do. And there's a man shouting through the storm that I don't need you to roll perception for, because this is very directly like a "Hey you" at the window. There's someone who's holding a bullseye lantern, and is braced. Like there's not even an attempt at an umbrella or anything. They're sort of braced against the storm, and the voice sounds familiar to the gentlemanly shopkeep, who's coming down. He's still down the street. But he's shouting ahead. He's going from covering his eyes to trying to get his voice to carry further. Hey you, step away from the shop. And it's so far just him as far as you can tell. What are you doing?
I'm gonna fly off.
Okay.
And have the rats just just be around the window and climb around they gotta do it.
Okay. Like a bunch of rats were the ones who broke the window and are
Yep.
in the midst of the crime scene. Okay. Sure. You tell your rats to just sort of scatter and look suspicious. So now your rat pile is suspicious. And you fly off.
I'm gonna fly off.
Okay. Alright, are you flying to the next rooftop? Are you flying back to the orphanarium?
I'm gonna stay in the area, but I'm going to fly a few buildings away, out of eyesight of him.
Okay, line of sight. You're gonna lose. He'll lose you, and you'll lose him pretty quickly, given the rain. So that's you could fly, like half a block away, and you probably couldn't see each other due to the lighting and the rain itself. Okay. I'm
going to wait.
You're waiting for what?
Can I get to a point where I can see him, but he can't see me?
Unless there's any magic trickery, you're under the same lighting and weather conditions. So unless it comes down to he has bad eyes, or you have superior zoomy vision, you would presumably be able to see each other at the same distance, given the same conditions. If he goes inside the store, then he might be busy inside the store where you might be able to look through the window. But if he were to look through the window, he presumably then could see you looking into the store.
I'm
or at least
going
someone.
to.
Because there's a point where you can stay far enough back where you might not be able to make out details, but you might be able to see some motion, or especially if he has a light that's, being moved around and you don't have one. That could be to your advantage.
Uh, I'm gonna get to a place where I can. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the orphanarium now. I'm gonna tell the rats to stay suspicious, and when the guy comes in, scatter and knock things over.
Okay. All right, so you tell your rats to be suspicious and to sort of knock stuff over or break stuff. All right, so yeah, at sometime later, meanwhile at the orphanarium, well, I don't know if you want to make yourself visible or known to Bright or Mordecai, but they're there. So is Celine.
Mordecai is probably outside at this point once the storm rolled in, kind of just enjoying the rain.
Okay.
Enjoying the torrential downpour.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah.
He's not wearing his armor or anything. He's just in some box standard clothing.
Yeah, just let the nice cold rain come down.
Yeah. Bright's also not wearing armor.
Noted. God, for once, Bright. Show some vulnerability, please. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm going to come in through the back entrance.
Okay.
Because I know my way around this building.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go inside. I'm just gonna go to my room, quickly change into pajamas,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna walk out and open the door behind Mordecai.
Sure.
Hey, what are you doing out here?
Enjoying the rain?
Oh, I don't like getting rained on. And I take a step forward, and my aura stops the rain on him.
Yeah. It stops raining on you, Mordecai.
Oh. That's convenient.
Yeah, it is.
Where you been?
I was in my room, obviously.
You disappeared to go into your room.
Yeah. Where else am I gonna hide?
I don't know. So, I paid the 750 gold you owe.
I don't owe anything. And you shouldn't have paid them.
Why not?
You know, they're just gonna keep the money and say that it wasn't paid and then, do stuff.
Norallie. That's not how that works.
Get it. And also, there was nothing to pay for.
They came describing you and an object that had gone missing.
Yeah, because I was at that store earlier, so obviously they're gonna try to, pin it on someone that they can recognize easily because I have very uncommon horns.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have that item. And, you shouldn't have paid it without, checking to see if the item was even, stolen, because it's not. At least I didn't steal it. I don't have it.
I want to insight check her.
Sure. Let's have a deception versus insight.
It's my deception.
So you all out in the audience can't see the numbers, but Norallie got a 7 and Mordecai got 9 more than that.
I kind of
Norallie.
use my +9 persuasion with this.
Norallie,
What?
why are you lying to me?
I'm not lying. I've never lied once in my life. Why would you even assume that?
Because you're awful at it,
Another
for
deception?
one.
No, you don't have to roll another deception. But once the dice have started rolling, why not keep it up?
Because you're kind of awful at it.
Yeah, that's why I just don't tell anyone things.
Why didn't you just come to me?
What?
That you wanted that whatever it was.
It was expensive.
So?
It wasn't actually worth that much. It's just pretty.
It was worth it enough. It was worth something enough for you to want it, wasn't it?
It was pretty.
You can have
What's it
different
worth?
things.
It wasn't worth $750 though. Just go to stupid penguins that can't even fly.
That's not the point. The point is you wanted something, and you could have just asked.
Oh no, you complain when I spend too much money.
I like seeing you happy, though. I mean, a smile on your face is worth a couple pieces of gold. 700 pieces, 750 pieces even sometimes.
I don't know, I'm just used to taking things. Not used to having all this money.
I mean,
It's either just
True.
enough.
but
Because we could, we could spend the money on, important things like the potions or something.
which we have.
Yeah. But we could get more if I didn't spend all the money. Or, we can use the money on the orphanarium. Instead of wasting it on something that's just shiny.
Then perhaps I'll propose something different. Next time that you see something fairly shiny that you would like, you could always talk to the shop owner, see if you can get a better deal, and if not, save your money. Or, because I'm fairly good at these things, can come talk to me about getting a better deal. I tend to know how it is that shopkeepers like to keep their business going. And some of the items that we have acquired from everywhere, for instance, might actually be worth more than the thing that you wanted. And they'd be willing to trade. But you have a reputation here now. You kind of have to take that into consideration.
Well, I'm not going to apologize in front of everyone.
Is that really so wrong?
Yeah, I don't want them to think bad of me.
But admitting when you're wrong is just as big an adult move. It's the adult thing to do. being
I don't
able
even
to...
have it, so there's nothing to apologize. And I told you not to give them the money.
It seemed like the easiest option. The easiest option was to admit fault, pay for the item, and ultimately get to keep it in that case.
I don't even have it, though, so you shouldn't have paid for it.
You disappeared, Norallie. What was I supposed to do?
I told you not to pay for it. I know you got my message.
So what have you learned from this experience then?
I don't know.
You're 19 now, Norallie. You're not the 16-year-old girl we found in the cave anymore. It's at this age that you start really developing what it is that you want to do with the rest of your life. The orphanarium's a really good start. And you want
Yeah.
those orphans to find you to be a good example of someone who's made it out, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to set a good example by not taking things. And when you do something that's wrong, owning up to it.
Mhm.
And really that's kind of the point of the thing tomorrow. Is
Huh?
people who know that they've done something wrong. Tell people that yes, they did something wrong. And that they're going to make up for it.
You should get the money back, because I don't have the item.
Or we can talk to the shopkeep. Because the constables were going to take the money back to him anyway. Then we can discuss actually purchasing the item.
I don't want it anymore.
No?
This is stupid, like this bird.
It wasn't stupid when you took it. What's changed?
I don't know, just don't want it.
With his very wet self, he just kind of wraps his arms around Norallie.
It makes a noise similar to how octopi are named.
Kind of ruffle her hair a little bit.
No, get off, you're right.
You never get rained on anymore. Suck it up.
No, my pajamas.
At the very least, you should apologize to the shopkeeper. Deal?
You know,
Okay. And he lets her go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk away and let the rain go back on him.
That's
I'm just
fine.
gonna back up.
I'll let him have just what he wanted. All right. Well, although it is, I mean, while it's something that you were experiencing for a while there, because I mean, you're given some good dad's, more dad Kai advice here. Though it is a thunderstorm, and very abruptly do the winds and rain just like slap back down on you as soon as you're out of her protective sphere. So it might be a little shocking, but then it's like, oh well, I was doing this anyway.
Yeah. He's probably doing a little more than just kind of standing outside enjoying the rain. He's probably, doing some prayers.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to-
Well, and in fact, I mean, a moment like this, I mean, just taking that time to feel the rain on your skin, just the sensation of all the drips going down, like, it's, you get a refreshed sense of your body, because it flows down your cheeks. You can feel the curve of your cheeks. You can feel it, drip down through all of your hair. How it just works its way, down and across your body, and just, it's a way to just connect. The wind blowing, over your skin and through your hair and everything. This is refreshing on not just it's nice cool rain. This is an almost Thracian. Thank you. This is just that it's a spiritual experience as well. And it's a getting to know yourself, and more than just the reflection in the mirror, more than just the the clothes or whatnot. This is, you speak words with the wind that you create from your body. Your body is made of water that's pouring all around you. Like, this is the essence of you. This is the essence of everyone. And so that there's just a nice profound moment for you as you're out in the rain like this.
He's probably ritual cast commune just to kind of inform the world, whatever her name is, of their intentions at the volcano.
Yeah. Go ahead and put that text up.
Because I have it prepared today, so it's ritual cast.
Yeah. And ask up to 3 questions.
I would have had enough. I would have had enough time to ritual cast it. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. This has been going on for a while here. You must ask your questions before the spell ends. You receive a correct answer for each question. Divine beings aren't necessarily omniscient, so you might receive unclear as an answer if a question pertains to information that lies beyond the deity's knowledge. In a case where a one-word answer would be misleading or contrary to the deity's interest, the GM might offer a short phrase. Alright, are you using this just to inform, or do you want to ask up to 3 questions during this time as well?
I think the one question that he has pressing on his mind the most is, what do I call you?
That's a good question.
Because he wants to address this entity properly.
I will have to get back to you on this one. I as a DM. So, the question has been asked, and you will receive something. that I'm sure will be needing to be interpreted through the lightning reflecting up off of the puddles on the street that might spell out a name, or the wind whispering in your ear as it's blowing past, something along those lines. So yeah, I will get back to you with something.
Okay.
We'll just say that it's something that's going to cause you to contemplate, to read the signs, and you can have a determination from that. But that was a question I was not prepared for, and so I'll get back to you.
Okay. The next question that he probably would have. I'm trying to think. I don't know that he has any other pressing questions. But is there like any indication that going to the volcano is something that that this entity would be on board with?
Going to the volcano?
Like going to the volcano and giving Grimhildr a hey, we're here, and stopping whatever it is that she's doing to explode the volcano.
Alright, well, like Jeopardy, you're going to have to phrase that as a question here. So, ask your question of the divine being, and I will give you an appropriate answer to the question that you're asking.
Okay. Grimhildr Von Alles is going to the volcano to set it off. We have intentions to stop her, because this would destroy all life on this world. At least from our perspective. Are we right in stopping her?
Are we right in stopping her? With the context that this is going to be destroying
This action would destroy the world, would destroy the life on the world.
You ask the question, and the wind picks up. As you are looking for perhaps a sign in the clouds, patterns or shapes, you do see that there's a lone airship kind of struggling against the winds as it's blowing around a little bit, going to wherever it's going. Or there's in a moment, there's a wet as some sort of like a posted bill that someone would have like glued to a wall or something, like slaps you in the face. It's some sort of maybe it might be for a local election or something. I'm sure there's an issue that's up because there's a lot of that going on with all of the funding needed to build things and to recover, and different treaties or trades or whatnot with the Shadowheart ever increasing. But as you peel this like notice or this bill off of your face, like the wind takes away like whatever, it might be like a vote yes or something, and you just get a big yes printed on this thing that just hit you in the face before it like disintegrates with the water and the wind.
What could it mean?
All right. Is there a third question he would have? He's kind of gotten what he wants out of it so far. He doesn't have any other pressing questions to ask. Not that come to mind immediately, anyway. So he's just fine with kind of just being in the moment. And if anything kind of sparks his attention, he'll kind of cling on to that, but otherwise he doesn't really have any other questions to ask at the moment.
Celine will come out, and just mention that she saw Norallie walking back in and her pajamas were wet or something. So that catches your attention, and anything else that might be clinging to do so would be Celine's own rather sheer nighttime wear in the rain clinging to her. And she just sort of looks up and, beautiful night.
That it is. His attention is just fully, focused on her now.
We go back inside Norallie. Celine had come out to see what was going on. She must have gotten some new pajamas, and those are actually kind of very kind of sheer silky ones too. Like, who sleeps in those? But anyway, she passes you as she looks like she's heading out that way. Bright is somewhere. Bright, I don't know if you're lurking or if you're just in your room or whatnot, but Norallie would make her way back inside.
Yeah, I've just been around. I haven't been avoiding anything. It just seemed like something that Mordecai was able to handle, and so I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay.
But if Norallie needs to talk, I'm here.
Okay. Well, Norallie, there's Bright who sets that out there for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm just going to change because Mordecai ruined my pajamas.
Oh, that's such a bummer. So, just for my own elucidation, though, did we end up losing both the penguin and the money?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That wasn't great. I think that could have been handled better.
It could have, if Mordecai listened to me.
Lessons learned.
Alright. Well, Norallie, are you going to bed?
Yeah, probably.
Are you waking up to publicly apologize?
No.
Okay. Well, then come the morning time, what are you all doing?
I'm going to look at Norallie. You're going, right?
Said I talked to the shopkeeper, no one else.
Okay. Then let's go talk to the shopkeeper.
I've been having breakfast.
Once you're done
Little
with
bit.
breakfast.
I just start eating really slowly.
I'll wait. I'm patient. But
Are you gonna finish that?
The sooner you get it done, the sooner it'll be over with. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid.
You're not supposed to rip off Band-Aids. You have to take them off gently.
The sooner you pull off a Band-Aid after you've healed. Well, bandages. I don't know that we have the equivalent of band-aids in this world. But do you ever get sap stuck in your hair?
I don't climb trees.
You didn't
I
climb
climb-
trees as a kid? You didn't
No, I was
monkey
in a
around?
city. No, I was a city kid.
There's trees in the city.
There's not a lot of trees in Masterpoint. There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
I mean-
I mean, everybody gets sap in their hair. I mean, I guess maybe if you live in trees, it happens more often.
Possibly.
No, I climbed on buildings. That's what
Well-
city kids do.
Okay, honey then. Anyway, I don't know what point I'm making. Anyway, you're done, right?
I'm getting seconds.
I'm still waiting.
Her feet seem to be dragging slowly, going up and getting seconds.
I wish I didn't get rid of slow because I would cast it right now.
And when
Let's see.
she's done with seconds, then I'm going to usher her
Mhm.
toward the door.
Okay. It is. It's kind of windy. It's going to be off and on rain today in the wake of the really bad storm. Nothing terrible. It's not raining right now, but it probably will be soon, just given the way that the clouds are looking. But yeah, you can make your way back to. You can make your way back to the store.
I'm kind of ushering Norallie in front of me.
I'm going first.
Hmm?
You go in first.
I'm here for you. As your backup.
Well, maybe you should be my on top and go first.
He just knocks on the door
Okay.
and stands behind her.
You do see that there was some kind of damage to the window, maybe over the course of the storm. But there's some wood outside that's was sort of like built up to cover the hole. Like the whole window is not covered up, but like something was put up against it. And there's a very polite and well-written sign that's notifying people to pardon the appearance of the store as it's under repair.
I knock on the door and I step behind Norallie.
Mm-hmm.
And wait for it to be
from the
answered.
desk. You don't see a person, but you hear 1 minute, and it does sound like the voice of the shopkeep.
I wait 1 minute. It's been a minute. He's not here. Let's go.
Nope. You're staying right here.
Yes, sorry, I was just taking care of... Oh. Oh. Well. Why don't you come in?
And
Oh, man.
Mordecai follows.
Yes, just a moment. He looks around. He looks like he might put something away. He comes back around the corner, and meets you all and tells you, "I'm sorry, just 1 moment." And he goes and he flips a sign on the door that's like a, on break, like come back in, X time. A sign like that. He doesn't lock the door, but he does say that the store's closed right now. Well.
Go on, Norallie.
Norallie. Oh. And I'm sorry. Before anything else, are you her father? He compares your two, like, your horns and sort of like your just stature and everything as another tiefling would do to two others here. Just lineage signs and parentage and whatnot, but doesn't seem content that was the answer.
No, I'm Mordecai Silverleaf.
Mordecai?
Norallie is a friend of mine. She and I have been through a lot together over the last few years. And I consider her like my little sister.
Ah. Well, it seems that you have a little bit more of a sense of obligation or honor. I thank you for bringing her back down here, Norallie. Norallie, can you tell me what happened?
So I bought the Arctic Fox from home, put it in my room, and then these cops knocked on the door, and I went and hid in my room because I don't like strangers. And then they told Mordecai that I took something and he paid for it, but I don't have the thing that was taken, so...
Yes, the constables dropped that off. I have the receipt for it as well. Although, interestingly enough, the owl was back in the store this morning. It wasn't even this morning. It was last night. But yes, I am the one who sent the constables to the orphanarium where it was that you were doing good deeds for the city and for the beneficence of the people who live here after countless tragedies have struck us. As I was curious, though, as to why it was I had received both payment for the owl, the penguin, and the penguin was also at the bottom of the shelf amidst apparently an incredibly large and acute rat infestation and a broken window.
Oh. Well, it was storming last night. Maybe they climbed in.
The rats broke a hole in my window, about 3 feet off the ground, and climbed in.
Oh no, rats are interesting. I should get a pet rat.
Yeah. Well, I had received a notification that there was something happening at the store when there ought not be. And I came, and I did see a figure of some kind outside the store at the window, and that figure took off, disappeared pretty quickly. Reminded me a little bit about what happened when I had seen you disappear from my own door during the day.
When this happens, I disappear. It's a defense mechanism.
So that wasn't you outside my window?
No, I was in my room.
Deception, please.
I don't have any more passwords.
You do not. I do. That's a red number, that's a 5. Alright.
Mordecai's not backing her up on this one.
Yeah, in fact, Mordecai, would you like to grant the shopkeep a advantage at the...
On insight? Oh, yes, I would.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I could roll again to see if I get a 20. But I... Why not? Okay. First time's the charm here. So you say that, and both Mordecai and the shopkeep just are looking at you, Norallie. This is what I'm going to do.
You came to own up to something, Norallie.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just casting darkness.
Can you roll a d20, please? Is this where you roll another one?
Oh wait, that was a... Sorry. Instinct.
I mean, if you want to force a wild magic effect, I guess you can. I'll take the percentile, but... Alright, so you're wild...
This is defense mechanism of darkness.
Alright, so... Darkness just rolls off of Norallie.
It's just dark.
Norallie?
What?
You came to own up, didn't you? You're being an adult right now, right?
I don't like you guys staring at me.
I'm still staring at you, even though it's dark.
Well, stop. That's why the dark's here.
It's not stopping me, Norallie.
That's creepy.
Don't you have something to say?
I'll say when you stop staring at me.
Do you know that I'm not anymore?
Yeah. Yes, you're still staring.
I don't believe that I am. Why don't you drop your darkness to see?
No. I can only get it once a day. I'm gonna keep it up for as long as I can.
I would greatly prefer not to have to get the constables involved again. I was willing to talk with you outside of...
We can... I'm not doing anything. I'm standing perfectly still and you're staring at me and I don't like you staring at me. I just need it dark right now. Give me a minute.
I'm no longer staring at you, Norallie. If you could see me, then you would see that I'm not looking in your direction.
Okay. Give me a minute.
She needs a second to compose herself.
I tried to return the penguin, but the window in and I tried to fix it, and you came up, so I couldn't fix it in time because I would have fixed it, and you wouldn't have noticed that the window was broken. But you had to show up, and then I left, and Mordecai wasn't supposed to pay the money because I was just going to return it anyways. But you know, he returned the money even though I told him not to, and nah.
Before I reply, will you drop your darkness now?
Fine. And she drops the darkness.
Alright, you can see that, I mean, you can see now that if he has been honorable, he was not looking in your direction as he turned 90 degrees in the, you know, from where he was standing. He tells you that he's going to turn around, and then he turns around, and he looks at you. I don't know exactly what it was that compelled you to do this, and this action has gone on to cost now even more, as I have to have my window repaired, along with some other things that broke after a large pile of rats ran rampant through my store.
I can fix the window if you got the pieces.
I no longer do. The rats and my own chasing of them have seen to that. Now, this is a sad state of affairs, and I appreciate you apologizing to me. Though I did ask the constables that you go up to the public apology stand and let others know what you did.
Can't do that.
Why? It will cost you no money. And if you're worried about your reputation, I assure you that that could very well be broken beyond the capabilities of any spell to repair. Although you're speaking to the primary agent of that possible ruin right now. More so than anyone, a confessor or the public who's in the square that could listen to what you did. Any damage that they can do. So in a sense, I'm a bit of a sword above your head, Norallie. It begins raining outside, and there's a little bit of thunder too. Not a huge storm, but it's a nice summer shower coming down. And so I need to know, what are you going to do to deflect this possible ruin? The owl was returned, my window was broken, as were other things, including my trust. And to know that one of the women who claims to be running a charitable organization that has received, from what I understand, a lot of attention, let alone interest, maybe even money, from other members of the community. Looks pretty bad. But I'm not convinced enough to become an enemy of you yet. Though, obviously nothing has been done to convince me to be an ally. You have that opportunity, Norallie. Just so you know, I wouldn't have this conversation with a lot of other people. But I believe that I recognize you, or at least your lineage, as well. I know, especially after speaking to other people last night at a dinner, that you are, in fact, one of the... Well, calling you a resident would seem to imply that you belong in an orphanarium. But you are a young lady enough to not... And for a moment, he looks over to you, Mordecai, though not in a disparaging way. Roll an insight.
Okay.
13. You're not quite sure what, but he's looking at you with almost like an implication of something. Like an acknowledging wink. He doesn't wink, but there's just sort of like a look at you, and then a look back down to Norallie as he continues. I don't believe that you're someone who needs the services. You certainly could have made a tremendous case for yourself. In fact, you are dating the son of a very prominent silversmith here in town. Someone who I have a professional relationship with. Of course, the less money that I have, because I have to pay it out to fix my window, or repair broken jewelry, etc., that's the less business that I can do with his family, and even donate to charitable organizations like the Orphanarium. Is that not correct, Mordecai? And again, you get that look. It's not a wink, but you get that look.
I would say so.
And so, I am forced to think of another plan. Now, I have seen that you are working with the local ossuary, and that you've installed some pieces from the church that should allow for contemplation and allow for people to reflect on themselves and their lives, and possibly find themselves somewhere in the services of Weejazz. And so, what I'm going to do is this. I have the damaged penguin with, though some of the jewels that fell out after tossing it through the window, I am going to keep. But this scratched, dented, and partially de-jeweled penguin is going to be a gift to the Orphanarium to be put on display, along with a confession turned lesson, so that in the future, any orphans that come to reside there are going to see this and know that the matron of this place has had a hard life and has made bad decisions, much like many of them, I presume, will have come to do as well. And they need to understand that there is someone there who can understand, who knows their plight, and can lead them to a brighter future where this isn't acceptable. And it doesn't have to be done. So, I won't ask for a public confession if you will display this damaged piece prominently along with a confession of yours. And if you don't, then I will have you arrested, and I will seek the harshest possible punishment for you. Do you accept my proposal, Norallie?
No, that's fine.
Mordecai
well.
just kind of takes Norallie's hand in his.
I would like to see the sign to be displayed next to the piece, and I will approve or disapprove of its contents. Mordecai, can I count on you to help with that?
Of course.
Very well. Now, I am not a cruel enough person to make a demand to furnish something someplace without being able to display it properly. And as such, I am going to donate enough funds that a small pedestal or any other necessary installation, which will include the name of my store from which this penguin was stolen, will be displayed in the Orphanarium. And so, I will have, I believe, Gaspard is your contractor.
Yes.
I will send him the bill, and I will pay for the time and materials it takes to make the display of this piece.
Sounds acceptable to me.
Very well. Then I shall make sure that the constables disturb you no longer at the construction site. Now, if you don't mind, I have a business to continue to repair and run. And I believe that you have whatever work it is that you need to do to continue doing what you do. And so I will leave you to this rainy day.
I hope the rest of the day is pleasant.
I as well. Thank you for your time and coming back. And he gets up to escort you to the door. He flips the sign around to show that he's open again.
And Mordecai keeps his hand in Norallie's and walks with her out the door.
Mm-hmm.
You okay, kiddo?
No. I guess better. At least.
He kind of just hugs her.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want Harry to know.
That's okay. Why? What do you think? Heron's gonna hold it against you?
I really like him, but I don't want to lose him.
I don't.
Stupid penguin.
I don't think if he truly does care about you, Norallie, then I don't think he'd hold it against you. It's a mistake. That's all. Mistakes happen. We own up to them.
I just think more of Marion to use funding because I need this.
He kind of just pets her hair. I don't think it will. If it does get hit a little hard, then you weather through it. Nice thing about public image is it can be repaired through good deeds, through hard work, showing that you are indeed sorry for the things that you've made mistakes about, and it's a petty mistake. And the shopkeeper's generous enough to allow it to be a teaching lesson for yourself and possibly others who might consider the same thing. Because the orphans deserve to have a home, not be put in prison for their mistakes. Like Mr. Halver did for you.
Very poignant reference.
And if Huron decides that he's too upset about a little mistake, that he's petty enough to hold that against you, then I did promise I would have words with him for hurting my little sister.
Norallie just hugs Mordecai very tightly.
It's gonna be okay, kiddo. Nobody
you're
hurt
a really
my
good
baby
brother.
sister.
You're a really good brother, Mordecai. I love you.
I love you too. I love you very much.
Well, there's work to be done at the orphanarium, as the confession needs to be made. There's also a ship that will be at the location in a little over a day. So
And we will be there when Seltra arrives, and Mordecai will help Norallie in crafting this little display in a way that's not necessarily implicating, but definitely puts the lesson across.
okay. And much like I will give you a name, you can have time to phrase what you want this to be memorialized as.
Because I don't necessarily want to put Norallie's name on it, if that's acceptable, but definitely...
it does need to be a confession as an example, so she can be an example to the orphans of people make bad decisions, but they can also be redeemed. And if her name's not on it, that can't show redemption or possibly forge that link with the orphans that someone who is in a leadership position here actually did do bad things and was able to not be a bad person for it in the future.
That's fair enough. But he's gonna word it in an eloquent way, but an understandable way for young kids.
Yeah. And we'll work on the verbiage of that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Bright, do you need to do anything before it's pickup time?
No. Bright would be happy to help with the...
Bright can make the words look pretty, being a calligrapher.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not formally a calligrapher anymore, but...
Well, having had that experience...
It's not like she never did it before either,
Yeah.
So yeah. She's definitely happy to help with the writing.
Tinkerer. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, Bright's kind of ready to go.
Yep.
She wanted to stay out of this. She has good reasons to want to stay out of it. But, she's around if you need her.
Alright, then what I'll need is 5d20 rolls from Norallie to summon the eagles to carry your carriage far enough to the pickup point. Alright, no, those are ones. So, you arrive to the destination, and as it's nighttime, a dark figure with eerily glowing lights within it becomes more and more visible as it makes its way to the shore. The countryside here is pretty well devoid of anyone except, I don't know, random passersby. This isn't. You could fly there, so it's easy, but it would take people really a lot to get out of their to go out of their way to come to this location. And the Repentless. The Repentless sets down into the waters, and just the mouth opens slowly. Just a big predator's maw. Like how we would see almost like a killer whale as it slides up to the beach to eat a seal. The Repentless slides through the water up to the beach where you're waiting. In its mouth, with just sticky gobs in between the teeth. A pulsing light inside opens.
And we board the Repentless.
Norallie? Right? You in too?
Yeah, of course. I might have to rewind time because Bright's gonna want to say goodbye to Gaspard somehow.
Okay,
So-
we can do that. We have some homework. We have some outstanding couple loose ends that we'll trim up.
Yeah, and I'd have to say goodbye to Kieran.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The red carpet rolls out for you in the form of a tongue. And you step inside, and the giant gaping maw of the Repentless closes. The ship shudders, heaves almost an incredible sigh running down its length. The hum of those engines intensifies, and the whole thing shudders. Your time will pass aboard the Repentless as DJ will come to meet you. There's no immediate sign of Selter, but this is her ship. This is her realm. She is the Repentless is Selter, and Selter's the Repentless as well. So if any of you want to say anything or request anything or whatever, she's probably listening.
Hi DJ, hi Selter.
But
How you been?
Can't imagine that Selter's going to make herself visible because Celine's aboard.
If you
That
did
might have to be an
good,
interaction for next time, though.
if
Yeah,
you're doing good, blink an eye twice.
I certainly hope that, a mast doesn't fall over and accidentally crush her, because that would be terrible.
You better not. I will have words.
Yes, we can. We can have those words. As you leave, just as night has fallen, so that you can pick up and travel across Mesomasca and beyond for as much night cover as possible. The engines seem to be going at full speed, and you're making a pretty brisk pace going across the lands below you. You could look out any of the windows or just over the side, and some little communities have their lights going, or maybe a community bonfire. Others, it's just patches of darkness. You might see some ships traveling down the rivers and streams as you get this view of Mesomasca from as fast and high as the Repentless can travel. and clearing. We'll have conversation, but you clear Mesomasca, and you're not too far out from the shore, having cut almost a due easterly path before bearing a little bit more south. But the volcano does have a illuminated plume that can be seen from even a long distance off. Just there's a tremendous light that has the billowing smoke just illuminated. And
given how large it is, that's not something we would have seen from Old Port, or is it?
You would not have seen this from Old Port. No, because there's a greater distance. Plus, you have the mountains.
Right.
Now that you're on the other side and you have just the flat open sea, and you're also you're high up. Not like you need oxygen height, but you know.
Right.
You're high up, but this is intense. This is more than what had been seen activity-wise in the volcano before.
It's a good thing we packed potions.
And while it was sputtering for just a moment, the night sky turned like a sunset orange as some kind of beam of orange energy with maybe some black specks and red specks in it for a moment flashes up on the horizon. But then it just diminishes back down to an underlit thick cloud.
I'm hoping we're in time.
And it is here, as the volcano is showing signs of that tower that had manifested, at least in terms of a giant beacon shooting into the sky with this, but on a much bigger scale. If only for a couple moments, the entire sky seemed to turn orange and flicker as this powerful energy was pouring out. Uh-oh. We have, Voivo. Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you for coming over. Raven, can I get a shout out to them, please? And what we're going to do, everyone, Voivo and, Voivo, I appreciate it, and I'm glad you raided over into us, but that is the cliffhanger for the session. Traveling under the dead of night on a giant bioship named the Repentless. The crew is now over the open sea and sees a volcano that has been slowly becoming more and more active. Now, just for a moment, explode with hellish energy, and they're on their way to it. And so we'll have to see what happens in the... I know, Voivo, I'm sorry, but I do appreciate you. I'll tell you what, though. I can take us over. Yeah, you can watch the VOD. You can watch the VOD. That'll be up for 2 weeks. I'm going to take us over in a raid to the person responsible for the Repentless and a handful of other major plot things.
Most of the major plot things.
Yes, major plot things. Friends, enemies, frenemies, all sorts of things. As we're going to go raid Macabre Derek. And he is doing an art stream. He might still be doing the art for Prince William by Night. Or no, is he? It might be a new one.
It's a new piece. I think it might be something related to Prince William, though, because that definitely looks like a Nosferatu we're very familiar with.
Yeah.
On one side.
He runs Vampire the Masquerade. He teaches Vampire the Masquerade. and he does a lot of drawings, and he could do fantasy D&D drawings, and of course, if you want some creepy stuff for vampire, or you just want a horrible monster in D&D, talk to Derek, because ultimately, while he is macabre, he's also a really awesome dude, and I hope that you'll enjoy staying over in his channel, listening to what he says. He does talk about art concepts and just it's a lot of stuff to just hang out, and it's a wonderful place to be. And he'll be playing in Coffee Cats. Raven, can I get a quick shout out to Coffee Cat? He'll be playing in Coffee Cat San Antonio by night tomorrow. So if you like role playing, and if you like vampire in particular, or you've never watched a vampire game be played, then stop by Coffee, stop by Derek's, ask questions, engage with them, and it'll be a lot of fun to learn. But I'll see you over there, everyone. And I think we've raided.